This is the chilling story of how a husband's dark obsession drove him to commit an unthinkable crime, poisoning his wife so he could pursue a forbidden love. Helen McMillan was a 48-year-old woman with big dreams and a loving family in Shaker Heights, Ohio. She was married to Frank McMillan, a man 16 years her junior. Despite their age difference, they seemed like a happy couple. Frank worked for a health insurance company and was often busy, but they made time for each other. They had been married for 5 years and lived with Helen's daughter from a previous marriage, 19-year-old Lisa Linsky McMillan. Lisa was a bright and ambitious college student studying pre-med, dreaming of becoming a doctor. Helen was incredibly proud of her daughter and supported her every step of the way. In the weeks leading up to her death, Helen was excitedly planning a family vacation to Orlando. She had bought a new suitcase, packed it with summer clothes, and couldn't stop talking about the trip, but her excitement was tragically cut short. April 17, 2019, started like any other day in Shaker Heights. It was a cool, overcast morning, quiet, except for the occasional early riser walking their dog or grabbing coffee. But inside the McMillan home, something was terribly wrong. At around 8:30 a.m., Lisa came downstairs to the kitchen and found her mother collapsed on the floor, unresponsive. A can of Diet Pepsi lay spilled beside her, the dark liquid seeping into the grout between the tiles. Panic set in. Lisa screamed and immediately called 911, her hands trembling as she dialed. The dispatcher tried to calm her, but Lisa was inconsolable. Paramedics arrived within minutes. Lisa, in shock, paced the living room as the eerie silence of the house was broken only by the echo of her desperate 911 call still playing from her phone. But it was too late. Helen McMillan was pronounced dead at the scene. Detective Laura Robach, a seasoned investigator known for her sharp instincts, led the case. As she stepped into the McMillan home, she immediately sensed that something was off. The house was neat, undisturbed, no signs of forced entry, no struggle. Helen's purse sat untouched on the counter, and the back door was locked from the inside. But one detail stood out. The can of Diet Pepsi was still nearly full. Something about it nagged at Detective Robach. She ordered it to be collected as evidence, along with samples from the kitchen. An autopsy was scheduled to determine Helen's exact cause of death. To everyone else, Helen's death appeared sudden, possibly a heart attack, but Robach had a gut feeling, and soon forensic results would confirm her suspicions. 10 days later, a breakthrough. The toxicology report came back. The results were shocking. Helen McMillan had been poisoned. Cyanide. The deadly substance had been mixed into her Diet Pepsi, proving that this was no accident. This was murder. Cyanide is not easily obtained. It requires planning. Someone had gone to great lengths to ensure Helen's death. But who? The investigation quickly turned toward the people closest to Helen, starting with her husband, Frank McMillan. At 32, Frank was young, attractive, and outwardly successful. To most, he seemed like a devoted husband. But as detectives dug deeper, they uncovered a disturbing truth. Frank was obsessed, not with his wife but with her 19-year-old daughter Lisa. His twisted infatuation had been growing in secret. To Frank, Helen had become an obstacle, and eliminating her was his way of getting closer to Lisa. Detectives combed through Frank's digital footprint. What they found was damning. Months of internet searches about cyanide, its effects, and where to obtain it. Frank knew Helen's daily routine. He knew she drank Diet Pepsi every day. And on April 17, 2019, he laced her drink with cyanide, ensuring that she wouldn't live to see that long-awaited vacation. When confronted with the evidence, Frank tried to maintain his innocence, but under pressure, his carefully crafted facade began to crumble. Frank McMillan was arrested and charged with first-degree murder. His trial began in January 2020, drawing nationwide attention. Prosecutors painted him as a manipulative predator who had meticulously planned his wife's murder to pursue an unnatural obsession with his stepdaughter. The evidence was overwhelming. The jury took just a few hours to deliberate. The verdict? Guilty. Frank McMillan was sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole. For Lisa, the truth was unbearable. The man she had trusted as a stepfather had harbored dark intentions all along. Helen's friends and family struggled to move forward, haunted by the betrayal. And the once idyllic community of Shaker Heights was left shaken, forever marked by the crime that unfolded behind closed doors. Helen McMillan had dreamed of a future filled with happiness and family. Instead, she fell victim to the twisted desires of the man she trusted most. What do you think about this case? Was justice served? Let us know in the comments below. And if you love true crime stories, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for more real-life murder mysteries. Stay safe, true crime case solvers. Until next time.